Odor smashes this one. A soaring blast out deep right field and gone! And Odor has done it again.
Rougned Odor plays with an edge. Small in stature, his game stands larger than his size.
There's that one over second. What a play by Odor. And Odor sends it high in the air. It is gone, a home run. And that was a massive blast.
A relentless competitor.
Bouncer second base. Flagged beautifully by Odor to second for one. On to first. Got him. Double play.
His passion for baseball fuels the fire within. Who dares oppose him?
Odor swings and he launches it down the right field line. It is gone! And this one is tied up. A two-run shot by Odor.
That one got out of here in a hurry. That's about as hard as you can hit a line drive.
What a night. Down by 6 runs. That home run by Rougned Odor tied the game as the Rangers took Game 1 here in San Francisco. We welcome you now to AT&T Park and to the city as the Rangers get ready for Game 2 against the Giants. Well, Odor wasn't the only one with a big night. Joey Gallo was on fire once again. He started things off with this home run in the 7th inning that cut the Giants' lead in half. But later on in the 8th inning, he had an RBI single, but instead he came up with an injury right here when he planted his foot. He rolled his ankle. Told us later the good news, it looked a lot worse than it actually is. He's not in the starting lineup, but he is available to play later on in the game. Hanser Alberto also tweaked his hamstring in last night's game. He's now on the DL. The Rangers have recalled catcher Carlos Perez. Well, it's time to say hello for the first time to Dave Raymond and Tom Grieve. Guys, what a beautiful day here.
Yeah, indeed, right? And you look a lot warmer today, Leslie, than you were last night. It is a fantastic day here in San Francisco. Ready for the middle game of this series, and as great as Joey Gallo was last night, he came up with some pretty big moments. It's been a huge month, and what a spot last night for Rougned Odor.
It really was, Dave. The Rangers are down by 2 in the 9th, 2 outs, nobody on. Shin-Soo Choo reached on an error, and then against the Giants closer, Will Smith, first pitch hitting, Rougie hits a line shot down the right field line into McCovey Cove. That tied the game at 6. It's been an excellent month for Rougie. He's knocked in 25 runs in August. That's the most in Major League Baseball.
So a couple of guys swinging real hot bats, and another guy who has chipped in some really big moments the last 2 nights, Shin-Soo Choo. And we'll put him in the spotlight when we come back.
Rangers Baseball is sponsored by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Ford is the best in Texas. By Shiner Light Blonde. It's light done right. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Well, we are underway. First pitch delivered for a ball by Andrew Suarez. So we welcome you into AT&T Park here in San Francisco. Giants and Rangers, second game of this series. And Choo takes low. It's 1-1. Let's read that first one. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Choo. 64 degrees here at game time, lots of sunshine. A spectacular late August afternoon. And Choo works himself in front now, 2-1. Rangers won the opener last night. A fantastic 7-6 win in extra innings. And it was the largest come from behind win of the year for the Rangers. They were down 6-0 early, forced extras, and then won it in the 10th. And Choo a big part of that last night. It's this one on the ground toward first base. Brandon Belt has it, feeds Andrew Suarez 1 away. So our Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Rangers now 58 wins, 72 losses. They're 21 games behind Houston Chu, Odor, and Elvis Andrus in the top third of the order. Nomar Mazara in right field. Profar at third. Chirinos doing the catching. And then at the bottom of the order, it's Guzman, Carlos Tocci in center, and Martin Perez in this interleague game, pitching and batting ninth. Ball against Andrew Suarez, 4-9 with a 4.68 ERA. His 23rd start of the year.
Suarez has not had a lot of success in the month of August. He's had 4 starts, an ERA of 7.71. But he's pitched much better at home than he has on the road, almost 2 runs better at home than on the road.
Odor lashes one through the right side, a base hit for Rugi. So off a great night last night, and Odor doesn't waste any time this afternoon keeping that going.
We'll take a look at the Shiner pitch arsenal for Andrew Suarez. 4-seam fastball about half the time, and then the normal mix of pitches. Favors his slider over his other complementary pitches. 25% with the slider, and then 14 and 10% with curveball and changeup. Yeah, when Rugi hits, there's not a lot of room on the right side, but when you hit it that hard, it doesn't give the infielders much time to react to it. Rugi follows up the home run last night with a hard hit single today.
Boy, Elvis did not like this call right here, breaking ball. But Andy Fletcher called it a strike, and Elvis really protested a little more than we're accustomed to seeing.
Well, that kind of a pitch looks better when you see the pitch grid when it's all over and done with. The catcher, Nick Hundley, caught that ball right on the ground, but it was a big curveball that's breaking almost straight down. And then when you see the pitch grid, it probably was low, but not by much.
1-2 the count now on Elvis. Well, Elvis just 1 hit so far in this road trip, 1 for 18. And if you want to go back to the last homestand, 1 hit in his last 20 at bats. Beautiful multicolored bat. The guys here on Players Weekend getting to take some liberties is Odor running, and that one is fouled away. Rangers have done this a lot lately, it seems to me. Tom, they get a runner on in the first inning, and it seems more times than not we see a play on of some kind.
Well, I like the aggressive brand of baseball. The Rangers have been playing really well. Talk about it all the time. Development, young players getting an opportunity, and right along with that comes taking the extra base, going first to third, being aggressive on the bases, and from a manager's point of view, trying to make things happen. There's been an exciting brand of baseball to watch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Last night, one of those games where I get it. If you were back home and you're just getting late and said, well, you know, I think I might just turn in. It's a little bit of a shame because you missed quite a finish. It was a weird game last night, but one the Rangers came back to win. It's just another in a long line of great comeback victories.
The good part about that, though, is even if you missed it last night, you had a great surprise when you woke up in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you might have gone to bed early when it was 6-0, maybe when it was 6-2. But then to wake up and see an extra inning 7-6 win must have been a nice surprise for it.
Odor got caught leaning, having a run down, but some quick throws by the Giants, and Rugi gets back in there. Now they may review this one, and we'll have to take a closer look, but they were making those throws really quickly, and it seemed like not a terribly well executed job on the rundown defensively.
It was a terrible job on the rundown. Almost each guy threw the ball too soon. You know, Rugi makes it look like he's going to the next base, and then he stops real quick and goes back.
Ooh. I think he might have gotten back in there. Well, the Giants are going to challenge the call. And right there, there's nothing in that view that tells me that he was tagged.
That's a great job by Rugi getting out of the rundown. he made it look like he was on his way to the next base. And before, right as they're getting ready to throw it each time, he planted and went back to the last base. And it made each throw much too soon. When it was all over and done with, they may get the call. If the pitcher made the tag, it looked like he might have made the tag before Rookie's foot hit the bag.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, he did. And that's a shame. And really, it's only a shame for two reasons. One, you would have loved to have had him out there. Two, I'm not sure I have the room in my scorecard for the 1-3-6-3-6-1 put out.
Repeat that again for people keeping a score.
1-3-6-3-6-1.
Wow. That's too many throws.
That is too many throws.
That's how many throws you see in a Little League game.
Oh, man. Well,
the ideal way to run a rundown is make the base runner that's trapped commit to the next base, have the guy that's waiting for the throw come toward the base runner, one quick throw and a tag, and he's out. That's the ideal way to do it. Once you get all those throws, anything can happen, especially if there's other men on base. One throw and a tag prevents other people from moving up when there's other people on base. And that one, it really didn't make any difference. There's only one guy to get anyway. So if you take 5 or 6 throws and get them, it really doesn't matter.
well, and Suarez comes back and strikes out Andrews to end the inning. So nothing doing in the first for the Rangers. And now Martin Perez ready to get it started. Giants coming to bat now. 63 wins, 67 losses, 9 games out of first place in the National League West. Andrew McCutchen in right field leads it off. Brandon Belt at first, Evan Longoria at third. Then it's Hundley, Slater, Crawford in the middle of things. Chase Darno gets the start at second. Duggar in center field, and Andrew Suarez, the starting pitcher, will bat ninth. Martin Perez with the start for the Rangers.
Martin's going to try to improve on his last 2 starts. His last 2 starts have resulted in a total of 11 innings, but 20 hits and 13 runs. Take a look at the pitch arsenal for Martin. Throws a lot of two-seam fastballs. That's his sinking fastball. Throws that more than half the time. I think the key for Martin is to improve the quality of his off-speed pitches, his changeup, his curveball, and slider. Throws a lot of fastballs, which is fine. He needs good command with them. But in order to get more swings and misses and more strikeouts, his complementary pitches have to be a little bit sharper and a little bit more effective.
Well, his first pitch to McCutchen missed. That one pulled foul, and it's 1-1. McCutchen last night started the game with a solo home run. The Giants would go on and score 4 runs in the first inning, and it just had that feel early on like it might be an all Giants night. Did not turn out that way. 1-2 the count. The other thing that was interesting about that was with that home run early, you thought, well, what kind of offensive night might they have? They have not hit multiple home runs in a game at home since like June 19th. This ball over third and out into left field. That's a base hit. McCutchen cruises to second base, and he has a leadoff double this afternoon.
Well, McCutchen had a good game last night. He swung the bat really well, hit several balls hard. And right off the bat, he's down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got a fastball down and in. And ripped it pretty well. Down the left field line for a double.
So Giants already with a man in scoring position for Brandon Belt. Belt 1 for 4 last night with a run scored and an RBI. And this one out to left field and will drop in base hit. McCutchen couldn't take off aggressively, so has to stop at third base.
Big inning for the Giants last night in the first inning. Martin tried to make sure that doesn't happen here this afternoon. Belt first ball hitting, slices a fastball into the outfield in front of Chu for a base hit.
So a couple of base runners now for the heart of the order. Evan Longoria, third place hitter. And that one into the seats. Longoria was 1 for 5 yesterday. He drove in a run, also stole a base. He's working a little 7-game hitting streak. Hits this ball well out to center field. Tochi gliding back. And that is out number 1. A sac fly for Longoria as McCutchen will come in and score. The throw to second, not in time. Longoria got in there and he uprooted the base. Pardon me, Belt just kicked it right up out of its holding spot there. That you don't see that very often.
I don't remember seeing it all year. Well, Longoria hit this ball well to dead center field. Tochi runs it down without a problem. He knows that the runner at first is probably tagging, and he gets rid of it quickly and fires a nice one-hop strike to second base. Just not quite in time. A really nice play by Tochi in center field, aware that there was probably a tag up, and made a good, strong one-hop throw.
We've seen on a number of occasions the last couple of years where guys are called out after a play looks concluded because they came off the bag. We have not seen an incident where a guy would be called out when the bag came off him. And I don't think we're going to see one today. Good quick work.
The Rangers defense this afternoon is delivered to you by New Braunfels. Rangers will play Shin-Soo in left field, Nomar Mazara in right, Carlos Tochi, who made that nice throws, in center. Jurickson Profar is at third, Elvis at short, Rougned Odor at second, Ronald Guzman, the Condor, is at first base, and behind the plate, Robinson Chirinos.
So a run across for the Giants. Belt at second base, and now the first pitch to Nick Hundley. Hundley batting cleanup tonight, doing the catching. 9 home runs, 30 RBIs for him. And Hundley going to get the lion's share of work behind home plate down the stretch. 1-1. It was announced after the game last night that Buster Posey, his surgery is going to take place on Monday in Vail, Colorado. So you might see Posey one last time, but that'll be it for the season, and Hundley will have that lead responsibility back there. Bruce Bochy has had to deal with all kinds of injury this year. Every manager has to deal with more injuries than they would want. And sometimes you can get just flat overwhelmed by it. And really that's when an organization's depth becomes such a big issue. Oakland had a lot of injuries this year, especially in regard to starting pitching, but somehow managed to work their way around it. Some great waiver moves, trades, etc. Strong bullpen seemed to compensate for it. But 2 years in a row, they've lost a lot of time from that guy you just saw, Madison Bumgarner. And it's hard to make up for that kind of a loss as Hundley draws a walk. One of the best pitchers in the National League. So a couple of base runners now for Andrew Slater. We won't see Matt Bum in this series, which is okay. Sorry, Austin Slater. And he fouls off the first pitch.
Martin, for the most part, over the years, has gotten a lot of ground ball double plays. His rate's not quite as high this year as it has been some years. But with his pitch count on the verge of getting a little bit high, it'd be great to get one right here. Limit the damage to 1 run. Come back out and start over again in the second inning. Just keep it from being a big inning. Rangers overcame one last night. Down 6-0 early in the game. It's tough to do that on a consistent basis, though.
Yeah, it's not a strategy you want to lean on.
No. Just because it worked one night doesn't mean we need to do it the next.
Oh, 2. And this one lined out to right field and caught out there by Mazzara. Nice play by Nomar. And there are 2 gone.
They couldn't tell off the bat. Off the bat, it looked like it might be a base hit. But he hit it hard. Slater hit that line drive hard enough to where it carried far enough so that Nomar didn't give up on it, didn't lay back and try to catch it on a hop. He went for it. And the one thing you know as a right fielder, I think he broke his belt, needs another belt. One thing you know as a right fielder here, if you do dive for it and don't catch it and it's hit hard and you don't touch it, it's going to roll all the way to the wall out there, and that's going to be probably a triple and a couple of runs. But he made the right choice by going after the ball and made a nice play on it, and his belt didn't survive, but he'll get another one.
A lot of maintenance here early on in this game. Second base. The belt. We may not be done. That's got to be, you know, a little pressure packed out there putting your belt on. You ever try to get dressed in a hurry? You know, you're running late for something. And
yeah, like in a dream when you can't do it. Like it turns into a nightmare. I have that dream all the time. You're getting ready, it's your turn to hit, but you're trying to put your socks on and you can't quite get them on. The game's getting ready to start. Then you can't find your jersey. Yeah, that drives me crazy. I don't think I ever had it in real life where I was trying to do that, though.
Nomar handled that with a lot of grace, and now we're ready to go, and Brandon Crawford takes a strike. Crawford batting 6th this afternoon. 11 homers, 27 doubles. So there's some extra base pop in there for him. Couple of base runners, but Martin Perez we can take care of Crawford and get out of this inning with just the 1 run allowed, and that would be a little bit of a lift. It's one of those things. Last night we were so focused on what the Rangers could do to come back and win. You pay attention to the big moments, the big at-bats, etc. There were some good moments there for some pitching too, and you just sort of take for granted, you know, the Giants had the 6-0 lead. Oh, they missed an opportunity here, they missed an opportunity there. They had a lot of spots last night where they just couldn't get a hit, or for that matter, contact. And a couple of spots was all they needed to maybe get another run, and they just couldn't come up with it. And I think that's part of the frustration for Bruce Bochy and for Giants fans in general. You know, even on a night where they score 6 runs, you think, okay, that's enough to win a ball game. But it wasn't, and worse from their perspective is they had chances of plenty to pick up more.
Well, they had the bases loaded, 1 out when Corey Guerin came in and struck out 2 guys right in the middle of their lineup, 2 big hitters. And you see that a lot where you score early, don't add to it, and just allow the other team to get back into it.
Well, this ball pounded out to center field. Tochi on his horse, but that one is gone. Crawford's 12th home run of the year. And it's a 3-run shot, and what do you know, the Giants with another 4-run first inning. And that wasn't a cheapie. None of them are out to that part of the ballpark.
Now he gets a fastball right straight down the middle of the plate. He's trying to throw it down and away. You could see Robinson's glove down and away. Crawford got a good pitch to hit, and the other side of it is he took advantage of it. He hit it. Center field, 4 rows back.
Last night you were pretty good on your guessing of distances. You want to take a shot at this one?
Yeah, that one's about 408.
Close. 436.
What? What? I must not have got a good night's sleep last night.
Well, last night you nailed the 440. You said, well, that had to go about 440. and you hit that one, but a little further off there.
I just wanted to prove I was human. Actually, what I did was I looked at the 399 sign and said it went about 10 feet farther than that. But actually, where it went out of the ballpark was deeper than the 399. Shoots out from 399 to 421.
Yeah, you know, it's deceiving a little bit from here, but that does angle back,
yeah,
pretty dramatically. You see right there on the right of your screen. Boom. 421. That's a high fly ball to center. Tochi positioned well, and it will end the inning. But another 4-run first inning for the Giants, just like last night. We go to the second. San Francisco with the early lead. Done right. Beautiful shot of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Off in the distance. It is a unique city and a terrific venue for baseball here, especially on days like we have here this afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-60s, little breeze right here on the bay. All right, Rangers offense going to have to fashion another comeback today, and Nomar Mazara hoping to get that started a little earlier tonight, or rather this afternoon, as he leads things off here in the second. Suarez gave up a single in the first inning. A nice little pick off helped his cause a little bit. Strikeout. And made it a scoreless first. Mazara pops up for the first out here in the second.
Giants defense is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Austin Slater gets the start in left. Steven Duggar is in center. Andrew McCutchen again in right field. In the infield, Evan Longoria is at third and Brandon Belt at first up the middle. Brandon Crawford, and this afternoon Chase Darno gets the start at second. Behind the plate will be Nick Hundley.
Profar now. Jurickson batting fifth today. Switch hitter at the right side against the lefty Andrew Suarez, 25 years old, and gets a strike in there to even the count at 1-1. El Patron, 14 home runs now. Really good year for Profar. It's been fun. He's largely been healthy. Had an opportunity to play very regularly, even if it is at different positions from game to game. And as a result, though, we've seen the power and just overall great offensive approach. His average today at a season high 256 coming in. Taking the dirt, 2-2. Profar's on base, though, about 20 points better than league average. Slugging a little bit. In the last couple of games, 5 hits and 9 at-bats.
Yeah, he's been playing well and hitting well for a long period of time, over 40 games, over a month and a half. He's hitting close to 300. His OPS has been close to 900. On base percentage 370. So as he's done all year, he generally gives quality at bats consistently. Shown power. Not able to catch up to that fastball from Andrew Suarez, who through 5 hitters doesn't look like a pitcher who's had a 7.71 ERA in 4 starts in August. Appears to be throwing a lot better than that today. Well located fastball, a little bit off the plate. George swung underneath that by a little bit. Mentioned it before, his ERA at home is almost 2 runs better than it is on the road, so he likes pitching in this ballpark.
He gets the first pitch in there for a strike to Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos yesterday 0 for 1 with a walk. Came in as a defensive replacement late in the ball game. But how about Robbie continuing? This is a trend that we have seen all year now. 8 RBIs in the last 7 games in which he has played. And last night the RBI he picked up, it was a bases loaded walk in the 10th inning. He's found all kinds of ways to help that way. That was such a cool moment last night, though.
Robinson, you know, he hasn't played as many games as a lot of the regulars. So but he's had 300 at bats and he has 40 walks. He generally is patient at the plate. He'll strike out a little bit, but he'll also combine the strikeouts with power and on base percentage. Even though he's only hitting 217, his on base percentage is over 330, which is pretty solid for a catcher who can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
It's this ball hard and just foul. And just out of the reach of those fans.
Oh, about as close as you can come.
So it count stays 2-2. Suarez, a rookie. This is his 23rd start of the year, 23rd start in his big league career. And his innings numbers right now are as high as they have ever been in one season for him. Ground ball left side of the infield. Crawford on top of it. And it's a 1-2-3 second inning. We played 1.5, 4-0 Giants.
Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Shiner Light Blonde. It's light done right.
Well, bottom of the second inning on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, and we will see the 8 and 9 spots for the Giants. They lead 4-0. Stephen Duggar, the center fielder, steps in, and Duggar was all over the bases yesterday. Yeah, pretty good game for them out of the 9-hole. Couple of singles, did not score a run. Good defender, good speed, and he takes in. It's 2-0. Well, safe to say this is kind of an important inning for Martin Perez to bounce back after that tough first. Duggar takes his pitch out into right field, so his 3rd hit of the series. We'll take a moment to hear a word from our friends at Southwest Kia.
At Southwest Kia, we've made car buying easy. $250 down delivers, monthly payments $250 a month or less. SouthwestKia.com.
Leadoff single. And I guess, you know, from our team, the good news is it brings up the pitcher now, Andrew Suarez.
Yeah, and you look at that bat to Duggar, threw him all fastballs, got behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, and then, you know, grooved one, wanted to throw a strike. Duggar, left-hand hitter against a left-hand pitcher, he's batting 8th. But if you get behind 2-0 and you let the hitter look for a fastball, and then it's right down the middle, the hitter's going to have a good swing at it. And that's what happened with Duggar. So, you know, Martin throwing a lot of fastballs, but to have success, he's got to have good command with it. And today he's thrown 29 pitches, but 13 of them have been balls. And one of the keys to pitching in the big leagues is, if you're behind in the count, be able to throw something other than a fastball for a strike. Keep the hitter off your fastball.
On a tip by Suarez, and it's left foul. 1-2 the count. And of course, I guess that could be the great challenge for any pitcher on any given day, right? They talked about, well, I didn't have my good stuff, right? My whatever it was might not have been working that day. I don't know. Couldn't command my fastball. I don't know, couldn't get the feel for my breaking ball. And the good ones, when that happens, you'll see a couple of bumps early, and then you'll see him figure out how to pitch without it or around that weakness for the day.
Yeah, and I think it's probably even more important for a pitcher the style of Martin Perez, because he's not a strikeout pitcher. So they're going to put the ball in play, and occasionally they're going to find holes if they put the ball in play. But the key is to locate the ball where you want to keep the ball off the barrel of the bat.
Well, Duggar fouls off strike 3. Pardon me, Suarez. And so that is out number 1. All right, now to the top of the order for Andrew McCutchen, our TXU Energy Power player to watch. And, you know, just 2 players in the big leagues with 200 homers and 180 stolen bases since McCutchen debuted in 2009. It is Andrew McCutchen and Mike Trout. And that's pretty cool. Anytime it's just you and Mike Trout who've accomplished whatever it is, probably a pretty good accomplishment. McCutchen already doubled and scored in the first inning. This is his first year with the Giants. I think McCutchen and the Giants, for that matter, probably were expecting a little bit more, but you know, as it is, he's got his 15 home runs. The average a good piece lower than where you typically find it for McCutchen. 255 coming into play today, and a bouncer toward third. Good scoop by Profar, and he'll go to first to take care of McCutchen. 2 away.
I made a good pitch there. He's behind in the count, 2-0, and instead of a fastball, he threw him a changeup. McCutchen looking for a fastball, I'm sure, being aggressive, swung at that changeup, hit it right off the end of the bat, and just hit a little tapper to Profar. Jurickson made a nice play, did not get an easy hop. He has to stay with that bad hop, throw off balance, but easily made the play. Good pitch on 2-0 right there by Martin, and something other than a fastball on a 2-0 count.
So Duggar's at second, moved up on the ground out. Brandon Belt fouls off strike 1. Had a hit yesterday, another hit today. Lefty on lefty. The Giants did put 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup. A 4th if you want to count Suarez, the pitcher. Runner goes from second base. It's fouled away. Belt was off and running.
That's just one where he says, I'm going to get a good lead. There's no one holding me on. And if I get a good lead and a good jump where Jurickson was playing, I'll be able to beat him to third base. Jurickson's moved over just a little bit closer to third base now to maybe prevent that from happening. It's not quite as critical with 2 outs as it would be with less than 2 outs. And now he's back over toward shortstop.
Duggar, the base runner, by the way. Duggar, by the way, 5 steals in 6 tries this year. 2-strike pitch. And did he go? Yes, he did. On appeal, they ring him up. So Belt strikes out. 2 punch outs in the inning. And it's a scoreless bottom of the second. Couldn't stop himself. The Belt strikeout takes us to the third, 4-0. The view looks like for us at AT&T Park. Bottom third of the order for the Rangers, trailing 4-0. And Suarez puts one in there for strike to Ronald Guzman. Condor was 0 for 4 in last night's game, but had a walk. It's his 2 hits so far on this road trip. And a number of left-handed hitters in the lineup today against this lefty, Suarez. Rangers not shying away from the left-hander. Chu, Odor, Guzman, all in there. Gallo got the day off today, but that's really a little more precautionary than anything else. Bouncer hit to the right side, and Darno is there, 1 away. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Rick Renner. All right.
The entertainer.
All right, 1 away here, and here is Carlos Tocci. Suarez doesn't waste any time, and he jumps ahead 0-2. Early lead for the Giants, a 4-run bottom of the first, much like last night. And we'll see if the Rangers can chip away at it a little bit. Yesterday they did a lot of the damage against the Giants bullpen. Last 4 innings of the game, he scored 5 runs off that pin. 7 hits against him, 3 walks, hit a couple of homers. Because the Giants got a pretty good start from Derek Rodriguez, Pudge's son. He looked really good in his 6 innings. Tocci takes in, and it's just like that, a full count. Meanwhile, it was the Rangers bullpen that was sharp, quite the opposite of the Giants pen yesterday, and helping them get to that 10-inning win. Bouncer shortstop, Crawford right there, and there are quickly 2 away.
Now, we were talking last night about the Giant offense has not been very strong in the month. They're last in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, home runs, second to the last in average. Their bullpen hasn't been throwing that well in the last 9 games. They've lost 4 games. They have 27 blown saves. That's the most in baseball. Their starters have been pretty good. Last time through the rotation, starters posted a 2.30 ERA. Derek Rodriguez pitched a nice game last night. But even though they scored a lot of runs early, they didn't score anything late. 6 runs, the way they've been hitting, they have to pretty much count on getting 6 runs and winning the ball game and not letting that one slip away. They've been 7 games over at home. They're 4 games under, 3 or 4 games over altogether. 7 games over 500 at home, 34 and 27. But they've lost 10 of their last 13 games at home. It's kind of been a struggle in the month of August for the Giants. Really, if you look at the National League West, Arizona is in first place, but they're only 14 games over 500. So their all season long has been a nice opportunity for any team that really got hot to take the lead in the West. And I think the Giants have felt from day one that they might be that team. It just hasn't worked out that way with their offense.
Perez goes down looking, completes another 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Suarez. Giants take a 4-0 lead at the bottom of the 3rd. GMC dealer today. Giants have jumped out to the 4-0 lead this afternoon. So we head to the bottom of the third. Hey, enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. Check it all out. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Okay, Martin Perez put up a 0 in the second inning and gets us started with a strike here in the third. Does face a 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Giants. Evan Longoria lifted the sac fly in the first inning, scoring the first run of the ball game. And he's ahead here, 2-1. Perez, you notice the long last name on the back of his jersey. This ball hit well out toward Triple's alley in right field and tracked down out there by the Big Chill. Wow.
That's a tough out if you're a hitter. He hit that ball about 410, 415 feet. He hit it high, and that gave Nomar time to track it down in the deepest part of the ballpark. A home run in a lot of ballparks. Not here and not in Boston.
That's all about positioning right there. You got to anticipate that Longoria might hit it to that part of the ballpark. Mazara set up beautifully. One away, and here is Nick Hundley. And he will take ball one. So there's the name, right? El de las Matas. And he is from the town of Las Matas, small town, and the reason he goes by that nickname, in most publications, most baseball outlets, they list his hometown in Venezuela as Guanare. I think that's maybe how you say it, Guanare, but it's not. He lives in Las Matas, which is a really tiny town nearby, and so he said, you know, with his nickname, he just takes a lot of pride, you know, and loves his hometown, as a lot of guys do, and he wanted to sort of let everybody know, oh, this is where I'm from. These are my people. Good folks at Las Matas. High pop-up, short right field. Odor going out. Here comes Mazara, and he'll haul that one in, 2 away. Now, Tom, your hometown as a kid?
Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Pittsfield. That's a decent sized town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger cities in western Massachusetts. There's not a lot of big cities in western Massachusetts, and I think growing up there might have been 60,000 people in Pittsfield. Yeah. General Electric had a huge plant in Pittsfield, which provided most of the jobs.
Yeah, so that's you came from a legitimate
like
town.
A solid city, not a thriving metropolis, but like a solid city.
Yeah, and so if you bumped into people in that region of the country, they'd know exactly.
Yeah, they would have heard of Pittsfield for the most part.
1-0 pitch to Slater, and he swings and misses. See, like the little town I grew up in, Nebraska. I mean, there are little towns in Nebraska, but that's the crazy thing is, you know, if I'd bump into somebody in a different state or something, I wouldn't tell them my hometown. I'd tell them, well, you know, Scotts Bluff. Like,
oh,
like
there.
this,
now I know. Now I
yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Oh. Yeah. Do you know Doug? I know this guy Doug from Scotts Bluff. But you know, no, I figured, well, maybe there's a shot somebody would know Scotts Bluff, Nebraska, but they're never going to hear of Gehring. No one's ever heard of Gehring, Nebraska. We were half the size.
How many people did you have? 1,500?
About 5,000.
5,000. Did you have a regional high school?
In a matter of speaking, I mean, you know, there was a Gehring High School, and all the little farming communities and stuff, they all kind of came into town.
So how many would you have had in your senior class?
Oh, about
70?
150 maybe. Oh. Slater strikes out swinging, 2 in the third. We go to the fourth. Hey, we were going to spotlight Shin-Soo Choo, right? Remember that? Well, we'll do that when we come back. Spotlight.
Yeah, Shin-Soo Choo in his last 12 games swinging it well. He's got another streak going. He's reached base in 14 straight games. Last 12 games in OPS in the mid-9s. Had a big hit in last night's game. He had a 2-run single when the Rangers were down 6-0. That kind of got the comeback started. Day before in Oakland, led off the game in a 4-2 win. Led off that game, first pitch home run. So he's had a couple of important hits in the last 2 ball games, and he's been hot for the last couple of weeks.
Well, this now the second look that the Rangers are getting of Andrew Suarez, who now for the first 10 batters he has faced so far this afternoon, he's gotten that first pitch in there for a strike on 8 occasions. So he's done a good job of getting ahead of hitters. And a bouncer on the right side of the infield. Chu retired quickly for out number 1. That brings up Rougned Odor. Now our thrive inside the numbers on Odor. How about this during the month of August? 25 RBIs. That is easily the most RBIs he's ever had in any one month in his career. With the 6 homers, 960 OPS, batting average just a shade under 300. Pretty solid month for Odor. And it drops a bunt, third base side. Longoria throws quickly, not in time, and Odor has his second hit of the game.
It was a real good bunt and a real nice play by Longoria. Longoria really got rid of that ball quickly. Thought when he bunted it, it was going to be an easy hit. Then when Longoria fielded it and got rid of it quickly, you started to worry. And right at the end, Rugi's speed closing in on first base allowed him to be safe. But nice play by Longoria. Couldn't quite get him. Big leg kick for that bunt. We timed him in 3.63 seconds to first base. Pretty fast.
That's quick.
Obviously, from the left side and bunting, you get a little bit of a head start. But nevertheless, when you're down in the 3-6 area, you're down in pretty fast territory.
It's one of those things they've always kept track of that. Coaches and whatnot used to always have the stopwatch down there, right? And time guys, there's always talk of how fast Mickey Mantle would get down the line. There's that quick pickoff move.
A lot of first base coaches carry a stopwatch, and they do it not just to time the batter, but to time the pitcher, his delivery to the plate. Because they'll calculate with a good lead, knowing a runner's speed, how fast he can get to second. Then they'll calculate how quickly a pitcher can get rid of the ball to the catcher. Then factor in how quickly the catcher can get it to second base, put it all together and see if it makes sense to try to steal a base.
Odor caught leaning last time. And now a strike to Andrews. Makes it 2-1. And that was that weird rundown of the first inning. The Giants kind of got away with one. They ended up getting Odor. Initially called safe. It went to review and was overturned. And there's again that quick move. Not a lot to that for Suarez. Just a little snap throw. Three and one. We really didn't get much of a chance to see how distracted Suarez could get with a runner on base, because he eventually did get Odor. Finished off Andrews from the windup and really has been in the windup since. Until right now, and that one is outside, ball 4. So 2 base runners now in the 4th inning. All right, here comes Nomar Mazara as we take a look at our WinStar World Casino and Resort leaderboard. How about these interleague play batting averages? The last 2 seasons, Rangers have 3 of the top 7 averages in all of Major League Baseball in interleague play. That's pretty impressive. Mazzara, 6th place over that 371 average. Batting in the cleanup spot.
Well, hopefully that little bunt single will be a catalyst for a big inning. Since that bunt single, Suarez has not had an easy time throwing the ball over the plate.
1-0. And that is tight. Ball 2. And Suarez, I mean, he obviously he's been pitching pretty well, but 3 of the last 4 hitters now have all gone to 3 balls. So maybe he's showing a little weakness here. A little wobble.
After the season, he's had good control, 31 walks in 119 innings. Pretty solid number.
Zara pops this one up. Back into the seats. Two and one. Suarez already in uncharted territory in terms of innings pitched this year. The workload been a little bigger this year than anything he's experienced. Mazzara fouls it away. 2-2. Suarez may not get much more than one more start, let's say 2 more starts from here. They're already talking about maybe calling it a year for him. And the Giants, they've slipped out of contention in the National League West, 9 games back, which in and of itself may not sound impossible, but there are 3 teams ahead of them in the division. That makes it a lot harder. Odor at second, Andrews at first for the Rangers. Look back at second. And Suarez, he's a guy who, they didn't really anticipate being in the rotation this year. He was a non-roster invitee to spring training, and as we mentioned, a young guy. But when they had the injuries the Giants have sustained in their rotation, Bumgarner, Cueto, Jeff Samardzija, I mean, somebody's got to pitch the games. And so that's what happens. You dip in. It's just not unlike the Rangers this year. They did not anticipate that Guzman and Kiner Falefa would be up with the big club as early as they were this year. But they got valuable time as a result. And Mazzara couldn't quite pull the trigger. That's strike 3 called. 4th strikeout this afternoon.
It's a good pitch. 3-2. He's seen a lot of fastballs, and he throws him a slider. In that particular case, you don't really have to worry about making a perfect pitch. You're depending on the hitter having seen a lot of fastballs in the at-bat, making the assumption that on the 3-2 pitch, he's going to throw another one because he doesn't want to walk the bases loaded. But instead, Hundley and Suarez got together and called something other than a fastball, and even though it was right down the middle of the plate, a different type of pitch fooled Mazzara, and he took it. So that was a good choice of pitches by Suarez.
So it's up to Profar now. The Rangers are going to get something out of this inning. 0-2 the count. Profar struck out in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Suarez, originally a second-round pick in 2015 by the Giants. Went away. When he came into this game, leading National League rookies in innings pitched. He was 4th in strikeouts, 10th in rookie earned run average, 4.68. About to deliver his 20th pitch of the inning. How about those socks? These are pretty cool. Players Weekend, guys. Add a little flair to all parts of their game. 1-2 pitch, and this one fouled away.
It must be standard issue because Rugi's got the same ones on.
Oh, look at that, yeah. They weren't wearing those last night, were they? I don't remember those.
I think so.
Oh, they were.
Almost looks like an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that, yeah. Yeah. With right up above the players with those little, I don't know what those dots are, like big snowflakes.
Stars.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah. Well, those will be a hit right around the holidays then as well. Multiple use for those.
I couldn't afford a sweater, so I got you a couple of random socks to wear.
Oh, yeah. Profar doing pretty good battle here. The 1-2. And a swing and a miss. 5th strikeout of the day for Suarez. Comes at a big time for him. Rangers leave a couple after 3.5. Giants still lead 4-0.
Summary. And its summary is going to be one swing of the bat. Unfortunately, it's Brandon Crawford's swing, and it ended up going 430 feet, just right of center field. That was a 3-run homer that capped the scoring in the first inning. Giants scored 4 in the first, and that's where we are right now. Giants 4, Rangers nothing, as the Giants come to bat in the bottom of the 4th.
Now Martin faced 4 batters in the 2nd inning, 3 batters in the 3rd inning, so kind of settled things down just a little bit. See if you can do it again here with the 4th. Crawford takes ball 1. Two 2-0. You don't want to fall behind. There you go. DJ BC Raw. Brandon Crawford. Because he plays the music. This one lined out to right again. And Mazzara again in the right spot. That ball well hit, but just bad aim right there by Crawford.
That ball might have been hit harder than his home run. Omar, I think, thought about taking a step in, but held his ground. He's made a couple of 3 plays out there on 2 on well hit balls. This ball came off the bat at 109 miles an hour, just about the same as his home run. He also made a nice diving play on a line drive and then caught one right in front of the 421 sign that Longoria hit in the 3rd inning. So he's been active out there on some well hit balls.
Tom, your superpowers are intact. That line drive out right there was 108 miles per hour off the bat. The home run was 106. You were.
So he hit it harder than the home run.
You're spot on.
It's crazy.
Once again.
All about launch angle, Dave.
Launch angle and luck. There's just a little bit of luck.
If you got if the launch angle was a little higher on that last one, that sailboat would have been in jeopardy out there.
2 balls and a strike on Chase Darno, who flied out in the first. Just kind of lost that one. 3-1. Full count on Darno. Darno today getting the start at second base. Joe Panic out of the lineup today, and Panic just had a somewhat disastrous end to his evening last night. And Darno hits this ball out to left field, hanging up. Chu races underneath it, 2 away.
Time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Let's check Nomar out in right field. Earlier in the game, made a nice diving play with a couple of men on base. Broke his belt on the play. And the ball launched by Longoria. Breaking ball about 410 feet to right center field. He ran that one down. And then he had the ball that Crawford hit this inning. A line shot to right field. Not a hard play, it was hit right at him, but a well-hit ball by Crawford. So an active day through 4 innings for Nomar out in right field this afternoon.
He's done a nice job, and now Duggar, who is 1 for 1, had the single in the second inning, and bounces this one up the middle. Karams off Martin, and no play to be had. Profar got to it, but that will be an infield hit for Duggar. And hopefully Martin is all right.
Says he is.
Kind of a glancing blow, fortunately for him.
The tip of his glove on, more in a defensive mood than a move to try to catch the ball, but he knocks it down, which would have given Jurickson some chance to catch that ball. If you saw Elvis in the background, Elvis was going up the middle for that ball and then planted and dove back to his right. The ball never quite got to him, though. A lot of movement on that grounder.
Now a soft liner, second base, and it's caught by Odor. Suarez just about snuck one in there, but the inning is done, and we go to the 5th.
Well, the pitcher hit one pretty well. Made a bid for a base hit, but Ruby, with a little hang time, took it away from him, and the score after 4 stays. The Giants 4, Rangers nothing.
Nautical Craft, really cool setting here. And by the way, coming up, we'll have an off day on Monday, but Tuesday opening a series against the Dodgers. First 15,000 fans are going to get that pictured. Robinson Chirinos from Moo Moo Mask bobblehead, courtesy of StubHub, and you can get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. There you go. Yeah, a lot of activity out there. Kind of a cool place out there in the landing area. You look over on the one side and see McCovey Cove, and on the other side you can see the ball game. Chirinos takes a big breaking ball way upstairs for ball 1. Chirinos, Guzman, and Tochi in this 5th inning, trying to break through against Andrew Suarez. Haven't been able to do that yet. Left-handers allowed just 2 hits, both of them to Rougned Odor, and he's surrendered 1 walk. Inside, that one wildly off the mark. On the count 3-0. Oh, that one way inside too. So Chirinos never did see a strike. Walks to lead off this 5th inning. Had a big walk last night as well. Right, Leslie?
You're exactly right. He took 4 straight balls last night from Sam Dyson. I talked to him about it before the game. We all know what a smart player he is. Also a very patient batter. He said that he knew Sam well clearly from when he was with the Rangers, and that he knew how much movement he had on his ball, so that if he was just patient more times than not, he was not going to throw him a strike. And guys, clearly it paid off with a bases loaded go-ahead walk.
Yeah, Rangers seem to have a good approach.
Very intelligent approach last night in that situation. It's exactly what happened. The balls that Dyson threw looked like strikes, but the movement took him out of the strike zone.
Well, bouncer down to first base. They'll get the out at second, but not at first. Guzman able to beat it out. Little extra, I don't know, handle over there by Belt to get it out of his glove and out to second base.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice play by Belt. Not a hard hit ball, but a tricky hop. He snared the hop and got the force out. Kind of ball could easily have kicked off his glove, but pretty solid defensive player at first base.
So 1 away, and Tochi now. Carlos grounded out in the 3rd inning. This game very similar feel to the one we played last night. The Giants got out front quickly. Nothing really happened in the middle innings, and then slowly but surely the Rangers fashioned their comeback, and it started in the 5th. That was when the Chu 2-run single got the Rangers on the board, gave them a little life. Tochi rolls that one off his foot. Wow, that hurt. Put nothing off his knee.
Hit him right off the knee.
See what it sounds like.
You have a little protection if it hits your foot. Your spikes provide a little bit of protection. Some guys wear a little guard on their ankle. Some wear it on their shin too. But no protection where that one hit. I think it was Jermaine Dye right before the playoffs, or maybe in the playoffs a number of years ago, hit one there and broke his leg.
Yeah. Now, get a shot there of Gallo. He is available today. I talked to Joey after he took some swings in the cages this morning. He said, you know, he's basically fine. After the ball game, and you heard Leslie report earlier, he talked about his got a very flexible ankle. A roller shortstop. They'll feed second one, and Darno able to get it off to first in time to complete the double play. All right, halfway there this afternoon. It's still 4-0. Done right. We're at AT&T Park in San Francisco. Yeah, right on the bay, Covey Cove, on the other side of that right field wall. 4-0 Giants lead, and they will send the top of the order in this 5th inning. East Bay off in the distance there. We are winding down our week-long trip here in the city. Got here last Sunday night, played 3 games in Oakland, had the open date on Thursday, and now this weekend series against the Giants. Never changed our hotel. It's kind of a rarity and a real blessing in the middle of the season. 2-0.
Yeah, especially when it's a good hotel like that. Yeah, love staying at the St. Francis. We've done that before under different circumstances. Right after 9/11, we were in San Francisco and had to extend the stay for 2 or 3 days before we were able to get a bus and then a plane back to Texas. So we were there about a week at that point in time.
Three 3-0 to McCutchen. Always gets a strike in there. McCutchen had the double, scored a run in the first. It was a 4-run first inning for the Giants. And in that first inning, Martin used 24 pitches. Since then, he's been pretty consistent. Full count now.
Yeah, Martin may have got an extra inning on the mound because of the double play that Tochi hit into. There was action in the bullpen, and if Martin's at bat came up, there was a chance that Jeff Bannister might pinch hit for him.
McCutchen rolls over on one to the left side of the infield. Long throw, and it's in time. Andrews gets it there in time to get McCutchen one away here in the 5th.
Would have been a tough play for Jurickson, coming across and having to have an off-balance throw. It looked like Elvis might have called him off on that play. Right at the end, Jurickson kind of brought his glove back and got out of the way. Probably realized it was going to be a tough play for Profar. Not a real good jump out of the box for McCutchen, which is why Elvis had a relatively easy time throwing him out on a ball that didn't look like it would be that easy a play to make.
No, 1 out. That's a great way to start the inning. And then jumps ahead here on Belt, 0-2. Little tight. So I mentioned that first inning was a 24-pitch inning, and he's been pretty consistent since then. Look at that. By inning, 13, 13, 12. Now 9 pitches in here to the 5th. But really got things under control after that first inning. 2 strikes on Brandon Belt. Two and two. Belt, first baseman, and today batting in the 2-hole for the Giants. Yesterday that was where Panic was positioned. And he takes just off the corner. It's a full count. It's a Giants team had some high expectations coming in, certainly higher expectations than they were able to achieve. Swinging at a foul tip right into the mitt of Chirinos, and Belt strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in again with Rick Renner. Thanks, Rick. Cubs are rolling all of a sudden as now Evan Longoria takes ball 1. Cubs had a 3-game lead in the National League Central going into today. Even though the Cardinals have been charging, Chicago seems to have taken control of that division race. Kind of like Atlanta has taken control of the National League East. They have a 3-game lead on the Phillies. Two balls and a strike now on Longoria, who's 0 for 1 with a sac fly. This one lifted out to left. Should be playable, and Chu is there. Deals with the sun nicely. And we go to the 6th inning this afternoon. Rangers offense needs to get something started. Taking a look at our progressive upcoming schedule, we'll wrap up this series tomorrow afternoon here in San Francisco, and then it's home for a 3-team homestand. Dodgers, Twins, Angels in town, and then what do you know, right back onto the road. Back here, the same place. We'll be staying at the same hotel. It'll be like 10 straight nights on the road in the same hotel. That's awesome. Love it. All right, 6th inning. And Martin Perez, he's done today because Drew Robinson announced as the pinch hitter here. We'll lead things off in the 6th. Top of the order to follow. And he takes ball 1. Robinson this year 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. Not an easy job. He takes a strike. It's 2-1. We mentioned earlier the Rangers made a roster move before the ball game today. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hanser Alberto was placed on the disabled list. Carlos Perez was recalled, so it doesn't give you any extra hitters. There's a ground ball, first base. A good feed to Suarez, covering the bag, 1 away. Now to the top of the order.
Well, for Martin Perez, it was a tough first inning. He looked like he was going to get out of it with 1 run. Then the fastball that Crawford hit turned into a 3-run homer. But after that, the 4 innings after that, he pitched well. Struck out 4 batters, gave up a couple of hits, and that was it. But unfortunately, the damage was done in the first inning. The Rangers have not been able to do much against Andrew Suarez.
The offense has kind of come and gone at times on this road trip.
Well, the Rangers have a number of players who are in, I guess you would call them mini slumps.
A little tight on Chu. 2-0.
4 for 29, 5 for 33, 1 for 15, 2 for 17. So they've been winning some games with some key hits. Well, it's up in the danger zone, where anytime that ball is within a foot of your head, best thing to do is get out of the way. That one didn't look like it was going to hit him, but when you're the hitter and it's coming in like that, I'm not taking any chances.
2-1 now on Chu, who is twice grounded out. Both times he has pulled it to the right side. We've seen a lot of teams shift on him. Giants are not doing that. They're playing him straight away here.
That's a good hard slider that he's had today. It's been successful against lefties and righties.
You know, if you're the Giants, Tom, I mean, it's been a little bit of a disappointment this year. I mean, they had to deal with some injuries, but they have to be excited about what they have seen from Suarez at times, certainly from Derek Rodriguez.
Yeah, Derek has been consistent from the day he got here. Suarez started out well, but he has struggled over the last 6 weeks or so. But he's throwing the ball well to now. Again, he's been much better at home than he has been on the road, but at least what we've seen in 90 pitches today would lead you to believe he's got a chance to be a pretty good pitcher.
There's a walk to Chu, so the Rangers do have a base runner here in the 6th inning.
Take a look at our Southwest player breakdown. After the first inning, Martin had 4 strikeouts. One was the pitcher trying to bunt. That was Brandon Belt on a good hard breaking ball. That was a nice changeup for the 3rd one. And then another hard breaking ball down and away. So a lot of fastballs in the first inning. He threw something other than a fastball a little bit more after that and had some success. He had a pretty good changeup, pretty good slider. And if it wasn't in a National League ballpark with no DH, he probably would have stayed in a little bit longer. Rangers down by 4 runs. Jeff Bannister chose to go with a pinch hitter, trying to get some kind of a rally going. Starting to get late in the ball game. The Rangers need to get something on the board.
One ball, one strike on Odor. You're talking about guys in sort of like mini slumps. Odor started this road trip hitless in his first 16 at bats. He's now hit in 3 straight. Had the home run last night at the end of the ball game. 2 for 2 so far today. That was the only 2 hits the Rangers have as a ball club today. So he's had some success against Suarez at the count 1-2. Ground ball right side, quick flip to second base, and the relay from Longoria not in time. Good hustle by Odor, getting down the line again, and at least keeps the inning going.
And take a look at the replay. You can see that's the shortstop playing on the second base side, and that's the third baseman coming over to try to turn a double play. Longoria coming across the bag, looked like a shortstop. Probably was a shortstop.
Safe by a mile.
There's the call. See why he was safe.
So Elvis now, he walked his last time up, struck out in the first. Elvis getting ready to celebrate a birthday tomorrow, number 30 for him. Ground ball shortstop. Crawford will go to second, and they force out Odor to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Rangers in the 6th inning. And San Francisco still leads 4-0. The first, our Who's In, Who's Out pitching change, sponsored by In-N-Out Burger. And Matt Moore, the man who is in, the former San Francisco Giant, coming in for the man who is out. That is Martin Perez.
Yeah, numbers for Matt: fastball, cutter, curveball, and a changeup are the pitches that he features. He's had wins in 2 of his last 3 appearances. Rangers are going to have to score some runs for him to get one today. His last 4 games, he's thrown 7 1/3, only given up a couple of earned runs. So he's thrown the ball well. 2.45 ERA in that time. Just 3 earned runs in his last 10 1/3 over 5 games. Starting to find some answers out of the bullpen, it appears.
Nick Hundley, first man he deals with, and he gets a strike in there, make it 2-1. Hundley with a walk, also flied out to right. Didn't miss by much, 3-1. For the Giants, this is the start of a somewhat significant homestand, at least in terms of length. Fouled sharply. Giants, after they get done with the Rangers this weekend, they'll host Arizona, right now the top team in the division, and then they'll get a visit from the New York Mets next weekend. So a 3-team homestand for them. Giants, kind of a funny schedule. They're on the road this year for a number of 3-city trips, which was the fate the Rangers had to deal with last year. It's a walk to Hundley. starts things here. You look at the standings in the National League West. Diamondbacks currently a game lead over the Rockies. That's a tough one to call. Dodgers, by the way, Dodgers, there they are, 3.5 back, third place in their division. They have the largest run differential in the National League, which would tend to have you believe that maybe they should be a little bit better than they are. But they're struggling to stay alive. And then the wild card race is just an absolute hot mess. There's some scenarios some folks were teasing recently in the national media for like 8-team basically tiebreaker at the end of the year. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fun the last week of the season hearing all the possible scenarios that could crop up. Generally things sort themselves out for the most part, and it doesn't happen, but the potential is always there.
0-2 pitch to Slater. He swings and misses, strike 3.
Good curveball right there from Matt. Take another look at that curveball, right where you want to throw it. Good enough to make him swing, bad enough so that he can't hit it.
So 1 gone now for Brandon Crawford. He's up there hacking. Popped this one up. Odor in a good spot. 2 away. So as I mentioned, when we come home, just a 2-game series with the Dodgers, Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Great seats still available. Check it out at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS and get your tickets. Dodgers with a lot to play for. And they will no doubt be coming to town. We're going to take a couple of games from the Rangers. That right now they can ill afford to lose any games. And you're third in your division with what, like less than 40, like 30, 35 games to go. You just don't have time to monkey around. Chase Darno 0 for 2 today, a couple of fly ball outs. I think the Giants had 5 road trips this year of at least 3 cities. One of the trips I think had a that was also a 3-city trip. So 5 of them, which is a lot. Last year the Rangers had 7, which is unfair. It's just too many. 1-1 on Darno. I kind of thought the Rangers' schedule this year was really fair.
It's not bad.
You know, weird that you'd be done with the Astros in July. Runner goes, pitches a strike, and no throw offered by Chirinos. Just couldn't quite get a handle on it. And so for Huntley, his first stolen base of the season.
Yeah, we're fortunate, obviously, to be in the center of the country, which makes all of our trips manageable. So much more difficult to be, for instance, Seattle, isolated in the Northwest. They put on somewhere between 45 and 50,000 miles, if I remember right, more than any other team. So when you complain about your schedule, stop to think what Seattle has to go through. It kind of minimizes it.
Well, strikeout of Darno ends the 6th. In the 7th, Nomar Mazara will lead things off for the Rangers. Still looking to get on the scoreboard.
At first he ruled that he.
Well, if you're running off to the kitchen real quick to get a drink, hustle back. The inning is not over. Let's take a look here.
Initially, it was ruled that he caught the ball.
Yeah, he didn't.
He obviously didn't catch it.
Yep, did not get that cleanly. So the at-bat will continue. Now, Jeff Bannister has spent some time out there talking this over with the crew. And Banny's pretty sharp about the rules and procedures. I mean, he may not at all be arguing whether or not that ball was caught. It's just whether or not you can go back and overturn that the way that they did. Well, that's what they've done. So everybody back in their positions. That means Hundley to second base.
It looked like the third base umpire, Jeff Nelson, hustled in to help with that call. Very tough for the home plate umpire behind the catcher. He's blocked from any kind of a view of exactly what happens. So he made the assumption that the ball was foul tipped and caught. But the third base umpire obviously saw that it wasn't, came in and helped with the call. I don't know if that's what Banny was upset with or not. It would appear they got the call right.
Two balls and 2 strikes now on d'Arnaud. Nobody too worried about Hundley out there at second base. And this one in the dirt, it's a full count. So Rangers thought they were in the dugout ready to go to work in the 7th inning, and most of them did get into the dugout, but had to hustle back out there. A walk, a strikeout, and a pop-up in the 6th inning. Moore's payoff pitch. And there's ball 4. Oh boy. Second walk of the inning. Well, Stephen Duggar 2 for 2 in this one today. A single to right field, and then a comebacker that caromed off Martin Perez in the 4th inning and fell in for a base hit. So Duggar's had a nice series so far. A couple of hits yesterday, a couple more today. Their 8th place hitter. And Moore finds the outside corner for a strike. The base runners for the Giants, Hundley and d'Arnaud. 1-1 the count. Duggar, he was a star at Clemson. Very speedy guy. And last year in the minor leagues was limited to just 44 games due to injury. Kind of set back his development a little bit. Up and down a couple of times with the ball club. And he takes outside 2-1. Most recently recalled July 8th. And where the Giants really find value with Duggar is in the defensive metrics, in as much as you can trust those. Maybe they're not using those metrics. Maybe they're just using the eyeball test. But he measures out to be a very effective center fielder. Ball back our direction. That one just really seemed to throw some woman down there into quite the tizzy. I mean, my goodness. Didn't know anybody. I think somebody maybe unleashed a lion. It's a foul ball in the ball game. That was incredible. Some concerned looks. It didn't even hit her. I mean, wasn't even close. There's a swing and a miss. Duggar strikes out, and the inning is done. Hey, that guy is still due up to lead the inning for the Rangers. Mazzara coming up. Rangers down 4-0. Nothing as we go to the 7th. Well, 2019 will be the final year at Globe Life Park, and full and half season tickets now on sale. Now, season ticket holders do secure a place in line for season tickets to Globe Life Field, which will open in 2020. Go to TexasRangers.com/seasons and get your season tickets now. Now, looking ahead to the final year at Globe Life Park, the home opener will be against the Cubs. So Chicago in town for that opening series. Interleague games against the Cubs, Pirates, and D-backs at home. And then on the road, we'll go to Arizona, as well as Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Milwaukee. And the season ends with a homestand against the Red Sox and the Yankees next year. So those will be some pretty crazy games at the end of the year and the end of the run for Globe Life Park. 7th inning, Rangers down by 4. Mazzara, Profar, Chirinos due up this inning.
And this could be one of those situations where the pitcher pitches to one hitter and then gives way to the bullpen with a left-hander leading off. If that's the case, it didn't work because the lefty got a hit off the lefty.
Yeah, all a matter of perspective. Maybe it just worked out beautifully. if you're wearing the other uniforms, if you're the Rangers, that was great. So Mazzara gets it done, and he is on to start things off. And Profar coming up.
Not the case. Bruce Bochy was not planning on that being a one-batter 7th inning for Suarez. Suarez now at 99 pitches. This will be his 100th pitch. Bochy's given him a chance to have a quick inning and finish 7 innings instead of bailing with less than 100 pitches for 6 innings.
Our Southwest Airlines bullpen live look. And Reyes Moranta, who we saw last night, was not his best last night. He's warming up. Back to a breaking ball off the plate.
First pitch he threw went 440 feet to center field. Joey Gallo.
Yeah, he's not used to that. He hasn't had that
see,
kind of result very often.
He might see Joey Gallo in the 7th inning tonight, this afternoon.
Bouncer left side of the infield. Crawford charges. Quick flip back to second, and they force out Mazzara, 1 away. All right, that'll give us a moment now to check it again with the folks over at Kia.
When you're America's best value, you don't need some over-the-top celebration.
Well, the fielder's choice, the Rangers exchange a little more speed onto the base paths. Profar replacing Mazzara over there, and now Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos walked to open the 5th inning his last time up. He's also grounded out. And he takes a strike. The Rangers have had just one man get as far as second base today, and that was in the 4th inning. Odor reached on an infield hit, a walk to Elvis Andrus, forced him to second, and then Suarez, he struck out Mazzara and Profar back to back to get out of the inning. That was the biggest threat that the Rangers have had so far today. 1 ball, 1 strike. First time the Rangers have ever seen Suarez. He buries that one. Well, the overall numbers weren't all that impressive, and the recent outings for Suarez had indicated that maybe he was even just running out of gas a little bit. But the guy the Rangers have seen today, he's been pretty impressive. 2-1. Ground ball again. Crawford flips to second. Darno on to first. Double play. 6-4-3 twin killing And the inning is done. We go to the last of the 7th. They stand and stretch in San Francisco, and they still lead 4-0. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, hey, Wednesday, the final game of that quick 2-game series against the Dodgers. It's our next Texas Chili Company $1 hot dog night. You can get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Come on out and catch the Dodgers and Rangers interleague style. Well, Hunter Pence will pinch hit here for Suarez. So that might be really good news for the Rangers. Pence against Moore, and they have never opposed one another.
Well, last night, Hunter Pence pinch hit and hit an extremely hard line drive right straight back toward the mound. Turned out to be an out on a nice play by Rugi at second base. Trying to think who that was on the mound. Was it Eddie Butler?
Yeah, yes it was.
Boy, he just barely got out of the way of that. It wasn't one that was hit like right at his head and he ducked underneath it. It was almost right at his shoulder. So he had to duck even farther to get out of the way.
I might have to duck as well. Well, that one, I don't know, what about 2-3 feet to your right?
Yeah, that could have broken some equipment up here. Wouldn't have gotten me because if it was hit in my direction, I'm ducking. I'm not trying to be a hero.
You know,
been around too long for that. Seen too many injuries.
Pence lifts this one high in the air, a soaring fly to left, and that one is gone. Hunter Pence with a home run here in the 7th inning, and he makes it 5-0 San Francisco.
Well, he is locked in as a pinch hitter. Hit with that line drive we talked about last night for an out. This time he made some contact and got it up in the air. Like a fastball down and out over the plate. Pence as a pinch hitter is now 7 for 33. First pinch hit home run of the year for him.
Just his 2nd home run overall this year. And now McCutchen. There's a strike, 1-1. Well, perhaps that's what the Rangers are doing today. Maybe they were just waiting to fall behind the full 6-0 before starting the comeback.
Well, Dave, there's a difference. Yesterday they started the comeback a little bit earlier than this.
Yeah.
So it's going to take, instead of the Peckaway theory, we're going for the Big Bang theory today.
Theory. That's right.
The Peckaway theory is not going to work now.
Yeah, there's no time for the Peckaway, but they will be in the bullpen the rest of the way. That may be a benefit. 2 balls, 2 strikes on McCutchen.
But when do you think the birds start showing up?
Oh, let's see. We're about another inning. Another inning. They'll show up. No.
Our stage manager, Charlene, told me that they start to come when the fans start to leave and they can smell the food better. As long as the fans are here, they won't be here.
McCutchen a little late. Swings right through strike 3. 1 away. All right. Time for a Chevy game break. A guy who can smell the food himself. Here's Rick Renner. All right, thank you, Rick.
I asked you last night, and I don't think with a short night that you had time to look up the answer, where seagulls slept.
Yeah, I didn't look it up.
So I consulted with several ornithologists in the Bay Area, and so I've got an answer for you. They told me that they sleep on beaches, maybe,
okay,
or in water. They have web feet. for swimming, so they sleep on the water sometimes if it's calm, just like a duck might.
Oh, just float along. Huh.
You know where they live?
I mean, I guess on the beach.
They live in nests. Sometimes they live on cliffs, trees, beaches. Now, for the tough question.
Yeah.
How long do they live? What's their lifespan?
I'm going to say a seagull's lifespan is 8 years.
Good guess. Not quite. 10 to 15 years the little birds live for. That's according to local ornithologists.
Are these leading ornithologists?
They were the ones I could find on short notice. That may be fake news for all I know.
That might be fake news.
But I went with it since I didn't know.
Yeah, those all make good sense.
It made sense to me.
But I mean, if you've got a fly ball well struck to center, but not going to carry. 2 away. So if you have a nest, right, you've got a nice nest, why would you go sleep on the water? Why don't you just go back and...
I think just for a little variety. You get bored, get tired of your nest. Maybe it's crowded. Maybe there's too many people in the same nest. And you say, you know what? I think I'm going to sleep in the water tonight. I really don't know answers like that. I don't know why they do anything. I know we're going to see them, though, in about another 35 minutes. There was a theory. I heard a theory tossed about on why Buster Posey missed that pop-up last night.
Yeah,
he lost it in the Seagulls flying over home plate.
I think
it might not be that far-fetched.
Legitimate. Yeah, it's possible.
Turned out to be a pretty big play in the Ranger comeback.
So let's say a mommy seagull and a daddy seagull are having a little squabble.
Having a little baby seagull?
Who sleeps in the nest and who has to go out and sleep on the water?
I think the mother rules the nest.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's the case. 1 and 2.
They really don't have to worry around here about hunting for food or anything. They just show up at the ballpark. It's kind of where they eat right here. Of
course, that might make November a little tough.
Well, they go to the football games.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, just head on down the peninsula or whatever. Go over to Cal, maybe. You know, a couple years ago. So Bo, our statistician, told me a story yesterday about Randall Delgado, and I looked it up. And he was pitching out of the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. He was out on the mound, and Seagull flew over the top and dropped a chicken finger on the mound. And they stopped the game. Fly ball right field.
That must have been a big chicken finger if they had to stop the game.
It was huge. All right, inning over. Giants had a run on the homer by Pence. And out of the 8th, Rangers down by 5.
By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Shiner Light Blonde. It's light done right.
The Davester handling this just fine. 5-0 Giants on top. And our Kubota power stats today. The Giants 115 double play groundouts this year, most in the National League, and they have benefited from a handful of them once again today. Guzman starting things off here in the 8th inning. Let's see, double plays now in 2 of the last 3 innings for the Giants. Hunter Strickland making his 38th appearance. Got away a little bit. 1-1. Guzman 0 for 2 today. Rangers with just 3 hits in the ball game. But now into the bullpen. Hunter Strickland, the first man up. This one blooped out over second. That's going to be a tough play. And tracked down out there. And a very near accident as well. Boy, that's tough. Darno, he's a good defensive infielder. He was committed to that one.
Yeah, you won't see an infielder go much farther out into the outfield than that. And he sensed that the outfielders couldn't get to that ball. And seldom will you see an infielder call for the ball like that, but he did. He knew there was the potential for a crash out there. He didn't think the outfielders could get to it, and he knew he could. And he was right. Thought the center fielder had a chance to get out of his way a little quicker than that. But they avoided each other, and it turned out to be a nice play by Darno. Wandered way out into center field to make that play. Must have been playing deep.
Yeah, he was back on a shift, or one of those sort of pull happy shifts. Put him out deep already.
Still another look at it here, how far he had to go. And it's obvious that the outfielders weren't going to get there. He was the one that had to catch it, and he knew it. He didn't turn around and look for help. He went after it.
No balls, 2 strikes to count on Toji. Takes off the plate. Tochi getting on here would go a long way toward the Rangers trying to get back into this ball game. You'd like a base runner on ahead of the guy waiting on deck. 2-2 the count. Joey Gallo poised to pinch hit here in this 8th inning. This one out to left field. Slater into the circle underneath it. 2 away.
Take a look at Joey in last night's game. First pitch hitting. Made the score 6-3 with that 440-foot shot to center field. And got a base hit up the middle, drive in another run. But unfortunately twisted his ankle trying to get out of the box. He was able to get to first base, but was unable to stay in the game. Fortunately, less than a day later, he's able to pinch hit in this ball game. So that's a good sign.
Well, he'll bat with the bases empty. And Hunter Strickland's first pitch. Ball in there for a strike. Not a lot of history between many of these Rangers and a number of the bullpen arms for the Giants. And in some ways that's kind of rare. A lot of times, whether it's interleague or typical American League, National League game, there's so much crossover. Guys, free agency, whatever, moving team to team, organization to organization. There'll be some history somewhere, but when you have a lot of young players on both sides, as we do in this series, you don't have history. This ball off the end of the bat, out to left field, and off the glove of Slater. He had it, but was running so hard, with just maybe just a little too much force, was unable to hold on to it, and that is an error on the left fielder.
Yeah, had to go a ways for it, but he got there. And once you get there, you don't have to dive. Basically, didn't even have to extend himself. Just got there and dropped it.
All right, so base runner 2, 0 for 2 with a walk. And Strickland's first pitch, a little bit in. For Strickland, it's been now exactly a week back off the 60-day disabled list. He missed 50 games with a broken right hand. An injury he sustained when he punched a door following an outing against the Marlins back in June when he blew a save, had to have surgery the next day. This ball down the left field line, slicing away foul. Oh, we'll play on the rebound.
Nice play. Not quite that good a play, though.
Well, it worked out for everybody.
I love how when fans get a ball, whether they make a good catch or just pick it up, they automatically raise it up over their head and turn around to everybody.
This one over first, into right field, base hit, so Chu keeps the inning going. Gallo pedals all the way to third base. Runners on the corners in this 8th inning.
Let's take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS. And we're going to check out Ruby's speed to first base. Sprint speed 29.8 feet per second. And then on this ball, beating out a double play, even a little bit quicker. 30.1 this time. Not quite his best sprint time. Above average and just fast enough to beat out that bunt. If it was a couple tenths less than that, he would have been out at first base. The play was really close on the bunt. But really getting a chance. Whoa!
This ball hit high in the air, deep to right field. Gone! He's done it again! The Giants kicked open the door this inning with an error. And Rougned Odor, just as he did last night, takes advantage.
Don't let Rugi hit after an error. That's the moral of this story. And like we said, Dave, it was getting too late for the peckaway theory. We need a big bang theory, and there's the big bang right there. One swing of the bat by Rugi. Pitch right down the middle of the plate, not wasting any time, and all of a sudden what looked like a relatively easy go for the Giants has turned into anything but that. They certainly have remembrances from last night, what happened late in the game, and the Rangers, here we go again.
Yep, it's a game, 5-3.
It's 28 RBIs now for Rugi in the month of August.
How about that 3 hits today for Odor? Boy, that was not a cheapie out there. Up high, out into that crowded Levi's Landing. Up above the 365 marker. And it's 0-2 now on Andrews. .396 feet. So a 2-out error. Chu followed with a single, Odor with a home run. Stays 0-2. Elvis 0 for 2 with a walk. Little bouncer by the mound, right to Crawford, and he throws out his opposite number. The inning is done, but the Rangers get the benefit of an error, and Rougned Odor, he has been unbelievable in these spots lately. A huge 3-run homer, and he has the Rangers back in it. we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Hey, looking ahead, Saturday, September 1st, the Twins will be in town. The first 15,000 fans get a Rangers captain bobblehead courtesy of Toyota. Go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get yours, or at least get your tickets so you can get yours on Saturday the 1st. All right, Chris Martin coming to the game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Fires that first one in there for a strike. Hundley leading things off for the Giants in this 8th inning. It'll be Hundley and the left fielders Slater and Brandon Crawford. The Giants got 4 runs in the first inning, same as they did last night. And then they took a 5-0 lead on the home run by Pence in the 7th. Yesterday it was a 6-0 lead before the Rangers eventually started their comeback. Yesterday, exploiting the peck-away theory. Today going with the Big Bang theory. 3-run homer to make it right now a 2-run game.
Mark Holtz would be very happy to know we've kept that alive. Something he started 25 years ago. He had all sorts of theories and loved it when fans called in their own theories. He'd incorporate those into new theories.
He'd just be happy in general.
He was a happy guy.
Well, a 3-1. And a bouncing ball. That one threw into left field. So Hundley, his first hit of the ball game. The Giants have a man on. Well, looking ahead to this next homestand, a big autograph session coming up with Corey Guerin Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. at the Whataburger on North Denton Tap Road in Capel. And while you're there, you can sign up to be a Whataburger What a Fan, to allow you to win tickets to an upcoming Rangers home game, as well as Whataburger for a year. You can check it all out, TexasRangers.com/appearances. Some Rangers fans on the road here in San Francisco. In fact, I saw some earlier. They had some pretty prime seats here today. 1-0 to Austin Slater, who's 0 for 3, a line out and a couple of strikeouts. Two and 0. Chris Martin is on the disabled list, activated at the end of July. And it has not been real smooth sailing for him. 7 games since his return from the DL, spanning a little better than 6 innings. He's allowed 6 earned runs. That's a strike. It's 2-1. Opportunity maybe this afternoon to start turning things the other direction, though. This is, generally speaking, a very good pitcher's ballpark. Martin's 2-1. He gets that one in there for a strike. Slater last year hit .282 as a rookie, but had his season shortened by a groin injury. This year hitting .277, just the one home run. And that one into right field, base hit. Hundley around second, he goes to third. Here comes the throw, it's cut off. Everybody's safe, runners on the corners for the Giants.
No, not a hard hit ball, just sliced over first base. The Giants couldn't add to their lead yesterday. They're trying to do that here today.
All right, things get a little dicey here. Martin, as his team just got to within 2 runs, can ill afford to allow anyone to score. Hundley is only 90 feet away, and there's nobody out in the inning. So that brings the infield in, left side of the infield on the edge of the grass. Odor maybe a little deeper at second. Crawford takes high for ball 1. Brandon Crawford homered in the first. He's 1 for 3. And you'll take it out. In a number of ways you could get an out here that would be a positive end result for Martin. The strikeout jumps out as the obvious thing you'd like to get here. 1-1. Well, there's some value in keeping Slater close. You get a ground ball. Maybe get 2 outs out of the play. That could be very valuable. Certainly do not want to give him second. Rangers have fought their way back in it. Martin's 1-1. And that's strike 2. Crawford will strike out a little bit too. 102 strikeouts this year. Certainly not immune to it. The only guy on the team who has struck out more than Crawford is Andrew McCutchen, who has 120 strikeouts. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So he gets it. Yeah.
Good fastball. 96 miles an hour, right down and out over the plate. Probably a little bit away. See where the location was. Yep, right down at the bottom of the strike zone. Threw it right by Crawford. Boy, right there, first and third, no outs. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Well, Chase Darno is going to be lifted, and Alan Hansen instead announced as the pinch hitter. Well, Martin gets the big strikeout. Now the question is, can he get the ground ball?
Hansen's been a really good pinch hitter for the Giants. He's 8 for 19 as a pinch hitter. He's over 400 pinch hitting. He has a home run. He's knocked in 6 runs. Switch hitter. Tough out.
And Banny out there to make sure they have a good plan on this one. The other thing about Hansen, he's only got it into 4 double plays this year. So not a long meeting. And I don't know, what would you say, maybe 10 times a year? Danny will go out there in a non-pitching change meeting.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see the manager go out because he wants to deliver a strong message to the pitcher. wants to do it himself without the pitching coach relaying it. That was more, it looked like a strategy session. Who the hitter is, how to pitch him, where to play the infield, how to keep the run from scoring, try for a double play, keep your eye on the runner at third, get a force out at second. If he tries to score, throw it home. A lot of different things they could have been discussing out there. One of them is certainly holding the runner close at first base so he can't steal second. What you have to guard against, because you just don't want to give up a run, is a little chopper that you can't turn two on. Well, if you've got the infield in like the Rangers do right here, that little chopper can maybe turn out to an out at first without the runner scoring from third.
Runner bluffs off first. Pitches outside. Not real sure. It just had the appearance of an aggressive bluff by Slater. But that could be for any number of reasons. Could have been tricked by the position of Guzman holding him. I don't know. Field creeping in. And a swing and a miss. It's 1-1 on Hansen. Eighth inning and a 2-run game. Now Hansen's got a little swing and miss in his game too, so that's another possibility for Martin. There's a bouncer, foul, just foul. Strike two. There we go.
Went back in the stands and said, Eddie Spaghetti gave me a ball.
Yeah. Martin with the long set, and now time called. Got the big strikeout of Crawford. As ahead of Hansen here, a ball and 2 strikes. Hundley at third, Slater, the runner at first, and time called again. And now the 1-2, runner does go. And a swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. But 2 gone in the inning. There will be a stolen base for Slater. So they're at second and third, 2 away.
Oh, it was last night late in the game. The Giants had the bases loaded. Corey Guerin came in and struck out Longoria, Brandon Belt to get out of the inning. Didn't give up a run. Chris Martin's trying to pitch out of a tough jam, first and third, and nobody out. It's second and third, but he's got 2 outs now. Give the Rangers a chance to get 2 runs in the 9th inning again.
So first base empty. Duggar the hitter, and he'll be. Oh, what was he doing with all the equipment there? Do you think he had like an intentional walk or something? I'm not real sure, because now here comes Bochy.
Yeah, I wasn't watching. I don't know.
Now my understanding is for an intentional walk, it's the team pitching that has to make that decision. Boch can't come out and say, you know
Walk
what,
my guy.
4, we're putting him on.
Yeah, then you get the bases loaded and come out 4 more.
Yeah,
4
let's
more.
do that again. I like the way that one played out. I don't know. There was some confusion though there, because I think maybe Duggar just assumed that the Rangers were going to put him on for free. That was kind of funny. All right.
Well, Buster Posey's in the on-deck circle to pinch hit, which may affect the thinking on that.
Thing is, Duggar has been a tough out in this series for the Rangers. 2 hits today, had 2 yesterday. Their 8th place hitter came in hitting .250. Broken bat flare that ends up in the seats. 1-1. Well, it hasn't been an easy path in this 8th inning for Martin. Base hit to Hundley, a single to Slater, a stolen base. Back-to-back strikeouts. Have him on the precipice of getting out of it. 1-1. And a pop foul out of play, strike 2. Rangers got 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning to make it a 5-3 ball game. Those runs came off Hunter Strickland. There's been activity in that Giants bullpen. And we'll see what they choose to do in the 9th. See if the Rangers can fashion another dramatic comeback at the end, as they did yesterday. The 1-2. Very high. Crowd has gone a little quiet here at AT&T Park. 40,287 the announced attendance, and they've had to witness some kind of tough losses here. They're going through their minds just a little bit. I'll get into it. The 2-2 and a high fly ball right field, and Mazzara puts it away. The inning is done. Boy, nifty job by Chris Martin. Give the Rangers a chance now in the 9th. Mazzara will lead it off. Jerks and Profar. And then Robinson Chirinos down by 2. In the game at second base. And Will Smith. He ran into some trouble yesterday, and he comes in here in the 9th.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good numbers. An ERA under 2. Nice strikeout to walk ratio. 59 strikeouts, only 11 walks. He's had 11 saves. He had a chance for 12 last night. Didn't work out too well. Rangers trying to prevent him from getting number 12 today.
Well, Nomar Mazzara has a hit today, 1 for 3. Rangers need to get 1 runner on. Give themselves a shot. Yesterday, looked like they might fall just short when a 2-out error kept the door open long enough for the next pitch then to be delivered to Rougned Odor, which he hit out of the ballpark. Forced extras. Rangers would win it in the 10th inning on a bases loaded walk. 1 strike pitch. And boy, that one caught the corner. 0-2. Well, Smith just carved up Mazzara. A strikeout starts things here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, pretty good breaking ball. A lot of times the closer will come in and be throwing the ball 100 miles an hour. In that particular case, just went to the off-speed pitches.
Breaking ball, and that one's left a little high to Profar. Profar 0 for 3. little high again. So Smith leaving those up just a touch, and that's where a guy can get into a little bit of trouble. Unless you're throwing 99. 2-0. That's a beauty. So far, we've talked about it in some regularity, the way he has handled late inning spots. Already a career high 65 RBIs for him. And he's delivered a lot of big late hits and late RBIs. Some game-winning RBIs, 12 of those this year. Right now, all he needs to do is figure out how to get to first base, and that could be by just being patient. Smith's 3-1. Yeah, that's high, ball 4. So the tying run does get to the plate here in the 9th inning.
Well, last night it was an error that allowed a man to get on to bring up the tying run. Today it's a walk, and you got a guy, Robbins Chirinos, to put a charge in one. He's hit 16 home runs this year. And he can hit it out to left field or right field. So we'll see if that walk comes back to haunt Will Smith today. Last night it was the error and then the home run. Maybe it's the walk and the home run today.
Chirinos spoils the first one. First time he and Smith have faced off. So far not going anywhere at first. And Chirinos hammers that one foul. Oh! Right by our ball dude down there, Danny Van Anthoven. He's a rookie, 29 years old.
Last night we had a man down the right field line who was 85 years old.
So you're asking yourself, Tom, you say, well, how does that guy, a 29-year-old rookie, how does he get it? He's the grandson of one of the original Candlestick Ball dudes.
Oh, okay.
Harry Hallsworth.
His family's earned the right for him to be here then.
Those kind of bloodlines, you're going to get opportunities that others may not.
Well, when Danny goes to work on Monday, unfortunately, they're going to say, you better get out there and work on your defense a little bit. Sorry about that, Danny. You gave it a good try. But Harry Holsworth would have caught it.
All right, no balls, 2 strikes on Chirinos. So far out there at first. They'll stay alive.
A lot of curveballs today. Robinson just barely got a piece of that one.
So far with a decent lead. Time called. And he had a big enough lead right there that I think Smith was like, what's going on? I think he just kind of almost froze. Well, he's not going anywhere, is he? One would not think he'd be on the run.
Adrian Beltre's in the on-deck circle, too.
Upstairs, 1-2. Well, Hunter Strickland allowed 3 runs in the 8th inning. It was the home run to Rougned Odor. Now Will Smith issued the 1-out walk. The Rangers last night did their damage against this Giants pen. Ground ball in the hole, short, and that one will end up in left field, a base hit. So a walk and a single, and now the tying runs are on base.
And it's Adrian Beltre with an opportunity right here. That's one thing. One thing about being on the bench as a pinch hitter, The manager can kind of save his best guy for the key moment. And in this particular case, this is the key moment for Adrian to come up and have a shot at it.
Now, last night, Jeff Bannister was able to play his cards about as perfectly as one could hope. The right guys in the right spots coming up. And now this afternoon, similar, as Beltre for this spot, 9th inning, 2 men on in a 5-3 game. Conversation out on the mound. So the Giants try to kind of recalibrate here. Mark Melanson begins to loosen up rather in their bullpen. First pitch to Beltre, and he takes strike one. Well, he was ahead of Chirinos 0-2. Now he's ahead of Beltre 0-2. Chirinos eventually worked the count a little bit, fouled off a couple. They got that base hit. 3 runs in the 8th. Now 2 men on here in the 9th. Beltre takes that one in the dirt and goes to the backstop, and everybody will advance. And that is a huge wild pitch. Now the double play has been removed as a possibility.
See the catcher try to backhand it instead of get down and block it. Got by him. There's no double play, and now you got the tying run at second base. Can score on a little single.
Broken bat. Stays 1-2. Nice shiny red bat too.
Got another one, just as shiny.
Yeah. A little more blue. I may be looking for another one. It's nice and all. Anybody have a red one? Oh, come on. Guy's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Get him his bat.
Back to the old standby.
Wonder Boy. All right, so he has the bat. He has the tying runs in scoring position. Trying to complete another huge comeback here in San Francisco. The 1-2. Just missed. Swing and a miss. Beltre strikes out. 2 away.
Got him with an off-speed pitch. It might have been a changeup.
All right, now Kiner Falefa announced as the pinch hitter here for Tochi. There you go. Last chance for the Rangers. Down by 2, but with 2 men on base. Yesterday, 1 for 3 with a walk. He'll take low for a ball. We've talked a little bit about how difficult a job it is to pinch hit. He's 0 for 3 in this rookie season as a pinch hitter. So far walking off third. Carino's off second, and that one's a little tight. Appealed the check swing, he didn't go. 2-0. There's a strike. His fans subdued today, but they're picking their spots, trying to get Will Smith to the finish line here. He's got a couple of strikeouts in the inning, but a walk and an infield hit and a big wild pitch opened up an opportunity for the Rangers. Good hitters count. As he takes a strike, it's 2-2.
Not many fastballs, all off-speed pitches. Got burned on the fastball last night. He's going to the jump today.
And that will get them to their feet. A lot to cheer about in the first inning. And then have been waiting until now in the ninth. 2-2. As he stays alive. Giants 4 games under 500, 63 wins, 67 losses, and 9 games out in the West. Great winning tradition here, but it has not been a good 2-year stretch for them. 2-2 in the dirt, and it's a full count. Carlos Perez just called up today, waiting on deck, just in case this inning continues. Pretty important pitch right here. A bouncer foul. Another tough play for the ball dude down the left field line. Not really even a play. That one kind of caromed off one of those railings.
It's been a struggle for Will Smith. This will be his 28th pitch. Trying to get his 12th save. The Rangers are trying to deny him that with another late inning comeback. All it takes is a little blooper right here. A lot of room in the outfield for one to fall in, too.
Well, you mentioned he's been flipping a lot of off-speed stuff up there, and at this point the Rangers have seen what he has. No real secrets. And Izzy, meanwhile, is a fairly long at bat of his own. Let's see if he can take advantage. The 3-2 pitch. Down low, that's ball 4. They are loaded. Oh, man.
Well, he saw a lot of pitches. Let's take a look at him. Got the tying run at second. First base is open, so he doesn't have to throw a strike. Starts him off with a curveball. Another one, just like he did with a lot of the hitters. Comes back 2-0 with another curveball. Didn't want to throw a fastball. Again with a slider. Again with a curveball. Nothing like a fastball yet. Change up down and away. Slider inside. Fouled off. Tough pitch. And finally a fastball. Thought he might try to sneak one by him after all the off-speed pitches, but it ended up as ball 4.
And so with the bases loaded, 2 out, it's going to be up to Mark Melancon when we come back. In the 9th inning last night, open up an opportunity for the Rangers. First there was the drop pop-up, then the error, And then Odor on the next pitch with a man on. That tied the game. Will Smith, a struggle in the ninth. Forced extra innings. Rangers would go on and win it in the 10th inning. And Odor with that great moment last night. Now, Smith today has loaded him up. Left the game with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Hands it over to Mark Melanson. And you see the Giants' struggles this year with save situations. 27 blown saves, most in baseball. Well, no room for error for Melanson. Carlos Perez just called up today. Pinch hitting here with the bases loaded, and he takes outside for a ball. Fans, it's not going to take much.
No, they're not going
to.
They're not going to like this one. Rangers come back in this game.
Rangers with 26 comeback wins this year. Off the plate, 2-0.
Definitely trying to keep the ball away from them.
Now the bases loaded, and the tying runs are at second and third base. The go-ahead run over there at first, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, after his walk just a moment ago. Perez, that's a high strike. Two and one.
Well, what a position for Carlos to be in. Just got here.
You see his numbers for the season this year. That's with Atlanta and Texas. And he swings and hits this one high in the air out to left field. Slater coming on. And that will do it. Well, Rangers made him thinking about it a little bit today here in this 9th inning. Couldn't quite finish it off. Loaded the bases, but Melanson gets the final out, and it's a 5-3 Giants win. All right, our Ford probables tomorrow. Same time, same place. Giovanni Gallardo and Derek Holland, the pitching matchup. Should be a good one. A couple of guys really pitching well in their most recent starts. We'll look forward to that one tomorrow. Coverage beginning at 2:30 here on Fox Sports Southwest. Well, stay with us. Rick Renner, Mark McLemore, and Mike Bassick back in studio. Have all the player reaction and analysis for you. For Tom Grieve, Leslie McCaslin, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. More coverage of Rangers baseball coming up right after this.